everybody, and welcome to week 1 of Onward, where we're talking about the kingdom. The simplest definition for the kingdom of God is everything over which God reigns as rightful king, and that is, of course, everything in all of creation. But you can think of it in sort of 2 basic categories. One is that which is under God's active reign, that is, what he's reigning over knows that he's king and acts like it. Where there's the presence of justice, it lives out his character and his will. And there's another category, which is what you might call the disputed territories, which is parts of his creation over which he is the rightful king. He created, which should be pointing back to him. It was made for his own glory, but yet the people in that place don't accept that. They don't live according to it. They don't believe it's true. And that's why the significance of the coming of Jesus is so important. Because Jesus did not come as an invader. He didn't come leading an army, crushing the rebellion and bringing everything under his rule, which he totally could have done. But instead he came as an ambassador. Somebody who came into a place that was in rebellion against him, that he was the rightful king of, but which he was inviting back into a relationship with himself, inviting them back into a citizenship that they had never known in their generation. He'd come into a place that for generations had rejected his rule and his love and his care and his direction, and he's invited them back into a new citizenship, a new relationship where he's king. So, if Jesus calls us to be citizens who are ambassadors, and the Bible also calls us exiles, that leads to a couple pretty significant questions. We've never been to the place that all 3 of those things assume. Exiles are running from somewhere that was their home. Ambassadors are advocating for a country that they've been to. Citizens usually have been to the country for which they bear their citizenship. We haven't. We haven't lived in heaven for 1,000 years to come to the disputed territories with a new normal to share. And so, how do we see all of creation the way it's meant to be seen in God's normal? So that under the Creator, we can go out as creative, image-bearing agents to bring out its potential. How do we be ambassadors for a country we've never been to? And how do we as the church show the world what it looks like to live under God's active rule when we've never lived in a place that was demonstrably just under his active rule? It's a really difficult question, but it's one that the Bible does answer. And it answers very simply, and that is, the kingdom is where the king is. Jesus is the king, and he so embodies the kingdom that wherever he is, the kingdom is there, and you can see it. And so when Jesus came, and when he said the kingdom of God is among you, as he was among them, people could see it. People could see the Creator in his creation. They could see what it looked like to be an ambassador. They could see what it looked like when he gathered a group of people around them and they lived by the kingdom. They could see what that is like. And that's just the same way it happens for us. When we look and see Jesus as the new normal of the kingdom, we see the kingdom in the king. And we can live that out. And we can be ambassadors for it. And we can live in creation that way. And it is wrapped up in him. And therefore, we cannot engage the culture without losing the gospel, without seeing the kingdom and how it's displayed to us in the incarnate, crucified, and risen King. Onward.